The city's streets buzzed with life, a constant hum of honking cars, chattering pedestrians, and the occasional bark of a stray dog. Among the chaos, an old woman shuffled unnoticed, her frail figure bent under the weight of a tattered bag. The bag wasn't filled with treasures, at least not to most. It brimmed with discarded cans, crumpled newspapers, and broken bits of plastic, the scraps of a careless world. Her hands, weathered and trembling, sifted through a public trash can as passers-by averted their eyes. A young girl tugged on her mother's coat. "Mommy, why is that lady digging in the trash?" she asked, her voice innocent and curious. "Don't stare, sweetheart," the mother whispered, pulling her away. But the old woman noticed. She always noticed. Behind her weathered face and soft smile was a story that would silence the busiest street. Today, she picked up a faded photograph buried under a coffee cup. Her eyes lingered on the picture for a moment before slipping it into her pocket. It wasn't trash to her, it was a memory, a fragment of a life she once lived. Who was she? And why did she keep gathering trash every day? Her name was Elena Morales, once a lively artist whose vibrant murals brought color to an otherwise gray city. In her prime, Elena's hands weren't digging through refuse. They wielded brushes, creating sweeping landscapes and bold portraits that adorned galleries and community walls. Her work wasn't just art, it was a call to hope, a message that beauty could emerge from the bleakest corners of the world. But life has a cruel way of unraveling dreams. Elena's husband, Roberto, her partner in life and creativity, fell ill unexpectedly. The diagnosis was brutal, a rare, aggressive cancer. The medical bills mounted faster than they could have imagined, and their savings evaporated like a puddle in the sun. Desperate to save him, Elena sold her paintings, her supplies, even their cherished home. When Roberto passed, Elena was left with nothing but grief and the echo of their shared dreams. She moved into a tiny run-down apartment and took on odd jobs to survive. But the city she had once brightened seemed to forget her. Months turned into years, and the woman who once painted the world's beauty now combed its streets for recyclables to make ends meet. Every item she collected had a purpose. The cans and bottles she sold for a few coins. The scraps of paper, broken toys, and forgotten photographs she kept for reasons no one understood. They weren't trash to Elena, they were pieces of stories, reminders that everything, and everyone, deserved a second chance. One cold winter morning, Elena's routine was interrupted. As she sorted through a dumpster behind a local diner, a man in a sharp suit approached. His face was hard, his voice curt. "You can't be here," he snapped. "This is private property." Elena's cheeks flushed, and she clutched her bag tighter. "I'm not hurting anyone," she replied softly. The man wasn't interested in her explanation. "Leave now, or I'll call the police." She didn't argue. She had faced enough battles in her life to know when to retreat. But as she turned to leave, a young boy emerged from the diner's back door. "Wait," he called, holding something in his hand. It was a small, hand-painted ornament. "Did you make this?" Elena froze. The ornament was hers, a relic of better days that must have been discarded in her haste to sell everything. Her heart twisted as she nodded. "It's beautiful," the boy said, his eyes wide with admiration. Before Elena could respond, the diner manager stepped out. "What's going on here?" the suited man explained, but the boy interjected. "She made this. She's an artist." The manager studied Elena for a moment, then the ornament. Something in his expression softened. "Is this true?" he asked. Elena nodded again, her voice barely above a whisper. "It was a long time ago." The manager asked Elena to step inside. She hesitated, clutching her bag like a lifeline, but something in his tone was different. It wasn't an order. It was an invitation. Inside the diner, he led her to a wall adorned with photos and mementos. "Do you see that mural outside?" he asked. Elena nodded. She had painted it years ago as part of a community project. "You're the artist," he said, his voice tinged with awe. "That mural is why I bought this place. It reminded me of my mother. She loved art, and when she passed, I wanted to honor her." That mural gave me hope. Elena's eyes welled up. She had painted it during Roberto's illness, pouring her grief and hope into every stroke. She had forgotten how much her art had touched others. The boy's voice broke the silence. "Can you teach me?" he asked. Elena looked at him, surprised. "Teach you?" "To paint," he said. "I want to make things like you do." For the first time in years, Elena felt a spark of purpose. The manager saw it too. "If you're interested," he said, "we could use someone to brighten up the diner. Paint some new murals. Maybe even host a workshop." Elena hesitated. She wasn't sure she could. But then she glanced at the boy, his eyes shining with hope. She thought of Roberto, who had always believed in her, even when she didn't believe in herself. "I'll try," she said. The following weeks transformed Elena's life. With the manager's encouragement and the boy's enthusiasm, she began painting again. Her hands, though stiff with age, remembered the strokes. She started small, adding vibrant flowers to the diner's walls. Then she painted scenes of the city, its streets alive with color and light. Word spread quickly. Customers came not just for the food but to see the artist at work. Local news picked up the story. The forgotten artist returns. Strangers approached Elena, sharing how her work had touched their lives. The boy, whose name was Miguel, became her first student, his laughter filling the diner as he smeared paint on his cheeks and hands. One day, a woman entered with a familiar face. She held up a newspaper clipping. "You painted this mural near the hospital, didn't you?" she asked. Elena nodded. "My brother was in that hospital," the woman said. "He was so scared, but your mural," he said, it gave him courage. "Thank you." Elena's heart swelled. Her art had mattered, even when she thought it was forgotten. Elena's life blossomed anew. She no longer wandered the streets collecting trash. Instead, she collected stories, inspiration, and the admiration of a community she thought had abandoned her. The diner became a haven for art, laughter, and second chances. Miguel, under her guidance, painted his first mural, a tribute to the city and the woman who taught him to see its beauty. Elena's journey wasn't just about survival. It was about resilience, the power of art, and the kindness of strangers who dared to look beyond appearances. Her murals once again brought color to the city, and her story reminded everyone that even in the darkest times, hope could be found in the unlikeliest places. Elena's story is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the power of kindness. If her journey inspired you, don't let it end here. Share this video with someone who needs a reminder that hope and beauty can be found in even the toughest circumstances. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more powerful and life-changing stories like this one. Together, we can shine a light on the hidden heroes around us. Thank you for watching.